Hello and welcome to Mangatory 96, and today we're going to talk about Arifureta Shokugyou de Sekai Saikyou. Today we continue with the second part covering Hajime's abilities that he acquired on his journey to becoming a god slayer and coming back home. But before we start, here's the spoiler warning, as I'll be spoiling a lot of things in this video, so if you don't want to be spoiled, I would highly recommend that you go and read the light novel, as it is an enjoyable read. For everyone else, let's start with how Hajime became such a master marksman. Like Earth's military soldiers, Hajime is naturally gifted in the uses of firearms, having mastered them all on his own while in the abyss. He has outstanding marksmanship in dual-wielding his techno-magical revolvers, Donner and Schlag, to destroy large numbers of powerful enemies in quick succession with deadly accuracy. During his battle against Noid, Hajime was able to aim at a certain point on her sword and repeatedly shoot at it during their mid-air high-speed close combat fight until her sword snapped. He can also wield his large, more powerful firearms with equal amazing accuracy, even when he's holding them with one arm each. Hajime can ricochet his bullets off surrounding walls, allowing him to hit targets from their blind spots. He can also pinpoint his enemies' weak points, such as Noin's crystal-like heart and Koki's kneecaps and shoulder. He is capable of shooting things without looking at them, as was demonstrated when he shot the frost eagles that were attacking Shizuko or during his battle with the corrupt Koki. Hajime's marksman abilities are so immense that Shizuko wondered if Hajime had a secondary gunner job which granted him such skill. Due to his mastery of his hide presence skill, Hajime is capable of masking and manipulating his presence to avoid detection. He is capable of easily infiltrating secure prisons, as he demonstrated when he rescued Aiko and later Cam and the other Haulia from their imprisonment. Having never received any form of training before being summoned to Tortos and falling into the abyss, Hajime had self-taught himself how to fight. His fighting style has been regarded as the height of rationality, focusing on efficiency. He trains extremely extensively to incorporate kicks into his fighting style, which he combines with his monstrous superhuman physical prowess and leg enhancement skills, allowing him to overpower his enemies, even those who are blessed with superhuman physical abilities without any effort. He easily brutally overpowered Hiyama, a summoned hero with enhanced abilities, by breaking his bones and damaging his internal organs without resorting to his revolvers, as Hajime's hand-to-hand combat skills are considered to be too dangerous. He can fight Shia, who has become extremely skilled at martial arts, on equal footing in the pure contents of hand-to-hand. When Koki went berserk at the Frost Cavern of Schnee and fused with his powered-up copy, Hajime still easily beat up the dim-witted hero without any trouble or trying to kill him, even sustaining no injuries. Though all of Koki's stats being increased enough to rival Hajime's own, Koki's stated mental state made most of his attacks predictable, making them easy to dodge and counterattack. During the final part of the Frost Cavern of Schnee, Hajime defeated his copy by fixing all the weaknesses and wasted movements in his fighting style, becoming better than when he started the fight. While still inexperienced, Hajime possesses incredible artistic skills which he has learned and developed by handling the illustrations of the game produced by his father's video game company and helping assist his mother, who is a famous shoujo mangaka, for 5 years. He would apply his artistic skills into drafting maps for exploring the labyrinth and blueprints for his weapons and devices, even incorporating aesthetic designs in his equipment. From his experience in fighting monsters, Hajime has developed unconventional yet effective training methods which he used to train himself for 2 months after conquering the Orcus dungeon into a master marksman and hand-to-hand combatant. He would later train his party, Haulia Tribe, Floor Knights, Shizuko and Ryotaro. Those results of training made his pupils to be strong. According to Ryotaro, Hajime is considered to be a pupil of Gunner Sergeant Hartman due to his harsh training methods for others to become strong physically and mentally. He could train the pacifist Haulia tribe into a deadly group of master assassins by weaponizing their natural skills installed in detecting enemies into ambush and sneak attacks maneuvers in just 10 days. As a synergist, he is able to control, transform and manipulate any kind of ores, minerals and materials in any way or shape the user desires. In order to transmute any object, the user has to be in contact with the object within the maximum range of 3 meters. Upon consuming monster meat, he gained the ability of Limit Break, which allows the user to temporarily boost their base stats by 3 times of normal for a limited period of time, but has a risk of leaving the user seriously fatigued after the duration is over. Also, repeated usage of this skill could damage the body of the user. He also acquired Overload, which is a skill greater than Limit Break, as it multiplies the abilities of the user by 5 times with more damage equal to the user than the normal Limit Break. Lastly, he acquired Transcendence, which is a derived skill of Limit Break, but unlike in this skill, doesn't increase the stats and ability of the user, but rather raises the skill level of the user's latent talent to the maximum and grants the wielder an average person's talent in fields of magic they had no affinity for, making it a skill that only a true master of a craft could acquire. This skill is generally considered hard to get and difficult to use, with normal people probably managing to use it only once in their whole life, even acquiring this skill. But if someone is able to master it, they can reach godly level in their craft. Moving on to all the ancient magic that he acquired by conquering the labyrinth. First, we have Creation Magic, which grants control over any object, structure, be it physical or magical, or minerals, allowing the user to shape or transform them in any way they wish. It is the only form of magic which allows the creation of an artifact. The true power of this magic is the ability to interfere with any inorganic material. As a synergist, Hajime has a high compatibility with this magic and uses Creation Magic to generate his own supply of special and rare materials for his equipment such as Tower, Shard and even Azaltion, without the need to mine for it in locations such as the Orcus dungeon. Hajime can also use Creation Magic to enhance spells or skills such as the other ancient magics into objects or existing artifacts to make them stronger. Then we have Gravity Magic, which gives the user control over gravity. The true power of this magic is the ability to interfere with the energy of stars, and just not gravity. Theoretically, it could also interfere with things like earth vein or terrestrial heat, bedrock or magma, and it isn't impossible to use this magic to purposely generate earthquakes or volcano eruptions. Then we have Spatial Magic, which allows the user to manipulate the space around themselves, allowing them to either bend or expand the space near them or move themselves to another space or location. The true power of this magic is the ability to interfere with the boundary, meaning it can allow the user to manipulate anything like the elimination of raised creature gap or formulating new boundary to create a spirit world. It's possible to achieve those kinds of things. Then we have Restoration Magic, which allows the user to restore the state of anything to either its previous or original condition. The true power of this magic is the ability to interfere with the time, meaning it has the ability to manipulate the time of anything, any place or anyone to a point the user desires to. Spirit Magic, which allows the user to manipulate the soul of a living being directly. It's possible to revive a living being back from the dead, time restriction applicable, or transfer the soul of a living being from one body to another, or even into a non-physical body as well, practically granting any living being immortality. The true power of this magic is the ability to interfere with the negative material possessed by living things. To be more specific, this magic could also interfere with things like energy inside the body that was mana, heat, electricity, then thought, consciousness, memory. Those who have mastery over this magic can even create artificial consciousness and allow it to inhabit any body they wish. Then we have Evolution Magic, which allows the user to enhance or evolve all other forms of power, be it strong or weak. It can work on even other ancient magic as well, boosting their power and scope. The true power of this magic is the ability to interfere with information about existing things. This magic enhances or evolves an ability or power by stage of 1 by interfering with the target's information and then increase it one by one stage. Hajime has used this magic to further improve all his artifacts making them all far stronger. Metamorphosis magic, which is one of the ancient magic originating from the Age of Gods, which allows a user to remake the form of a normal being and reform them into a different form. Normally, it's used to remake a normal organism and turn it into a monster, or even manipulate the magic stone of a monster and remake them. But a true part of this magic is the ability to interfere with any organic matter, meaning not only animals, but it's also possible to remake plants or intelligent beings and reform their structure as needed. Even byproducts of organic material like paper or food can also be manipulated by this magic. This magic stone, which gets created during the process, is just a byproduct to the process. And lastly, concept magic, which is a form of ancient magic art, which is a combination of many other ancient magics. The main ability of concept magic is that it allows one to interfere with the laws of the world and impress concept upon it. By raising up a powerful wish or desire with spirit magic and evolution magic, it can be raised to a level of a concept before being forcefully materialized with magic power. However, since the user's desire at the time of use is used as the base of the magic to raise up and create the concept, the spell may not remain stable in subsequent uses. Thus, a single spell can only be used once under most circumstances. However, if the desire is still needed, it can be used more than once, like in the case of Hajime's crystal key, which had the concept of "I want to return home" in it. Was destroyed by Echt, he was still able to recreate the crystal key again because his desire of wanting to return home was still there. It should be noted, however, that concept magic requires the user to concentrate on raising up their wish in order to materialize the concept. As such, it wouldn't be useful in a battle where the user is under attack. Also, some concepts aren't possible to materialize by the user of their own. For example, Hajime could only make the graded versions of the crystal key without Yue. With this, I covered everything that I wanted to cover on Hajime's strength in this video. And that will be all for this video. If you like this video, leave a like, leave your thoughts in the comments below, or subscribe to the channel for more manga reviews and One Piece content. And until next time, take care.